Hi folks, I'm Syed. I'm the co-founder and CTO at Optimal, and today we're going to go through a quick overview of how OptiBot excels over Cursor's BugBot. For quick context, OptiBot is a fully agentic code reviewer that mimics a human reviewer. So it goes through your code through a fine-tooth comb and has a high attention to both code quality and code details depending on your coding patterns. And one of the ways that OptiBot wins over BugBot in these four key areas are that it looks at creating a rich code context. So it is a knowledge graph of your code base, and it does that across your repos. And then it also has a simple workflow and a native integration with your IDE so that you can go from suggestions to bug fixes very quickly. And then it has a pure focus on catching production breaking issues, but also bolsters security. And then lastly, we have a way to track all of this into our Insights platform. Here's another area where OptiBot really shines against BugBot. It's able to find security issues and also able to identify business logic breaking issues. OptiBot was able to first provide a summary that you can go through, and everything looks normal at this point. But within a minute or two, a review was generated by OptiBot, and there are two things that it found. One, a critical bug in the filter logic that we had, which would have broken some business logic. And then two, it also found a security issue when I was changing the headers that are in here. I can also quickly go ahead and fix these issues within Cursor. And so if I wanted to do that, I can click on the Solve It in Cursor, and then that should open up Cursor right after. And so what OptiBot has done is pre-populated my Cursor window with the right context to fix that issue. One of the other ways that OptiBot differs from BugBot is that you can review your local branch changes against a remote branch. And so whenever you have a pull request that you're looking to create, you can actually emulate that using OptiBot. So in this case, what we have on screen is a set of changes that we've introduced using Cursor's agent. And then what we can do now is actually have it review those changes against a remote branch that is already up on GitHub or GitLab. And it looks like our review has actually come in, and that code that was generated through Cursor did have some bugs in there. And so I can directly go in here and actually take OptiBot's changes and then apply that and then actually run a re-review if I wanted to. Another area where OptiBot excels over BugBot is actually catching issues that take place outside of the patch files. In this case, OptiBot specifically mentions that there's additional comments outside of the patch file. And this is where our context graph really works. The other thing that OptiBot also did is we broke our build. And in this case, what OptiBot did was that it found out why that build was breaking, and it's prescribing exactly how to fix that. And now that OptiBot has reviewed all of that code, I'm really interested in seeing all the work that it's done today, but also looking into some of the high-level stats that we would have in terms of our pull requests. The first things that I'm able to quickly see here is the time it's been taking to merge our PRs in relation to how things were last week, as well as seeing how quickly pull requests are being opened. And so I can quickly have a glance into that. I can also filter by repos or users in here, but we were here for one thing, and we were here to look at what OptiBot has been doing. So Insights actually tracks not only your internal engineers, but also some of your agentic tools that you're using. So we're going to hit the activity page, and then I have OptiBot right here. And I can click on this cell here, and we can quickly see what OptiBot's been doing. I actually did 12 reviews today, left one comment in here. I can go into the timeline mode and see more details about what it's been doing. One of the ways that we also empower users to go in and track both the productivity gains that you get from AI tooling, but also looking at what your agents are doing. So not just OptiBot in here, but you could also have Cloud Code. If you use Copilot, some of those other tools will also be visible in here.